Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And tonight, Xbox is back in the gaming news. And still not good news. They're always in the news for negative things. So here we go. Let me share out this article so you guys can follow along or not. So here we go. Xbox Game Pass officially confirms end of an era. I don't know if I'd say it's end of an era, but so since its inception back in 2017, the Xbox Game Pass subscription service has allowed gamers to get their hands on some incredible titles, even day one releases at no extra cost. Not only that, but with a new batch of games added each month. It is the perfect way to get your hands on some epic releases, both old and new. However, one Xbox Game Pass program, which was first unveiled 4 years ago, has now been officially canceled. So, what did they kill off? So, just another major chain that they implemented since Phil Spencer stepped down and the new AI CEO took over. Now, as of the 12th of March, 2026, ID at Xbox Global Director Guy Richards has revealed that Project Moorcroft is now dead. That's Moorcroft, not Moorhead. What is Project Moorcroft, you may ask? Well, it is a program which was first announced back in 2022, which would allow developers to share pre-release demos of their upcoming titles on the Xbox Game Pass. Kind of like, the Steam Next Fest or whatever, where they have all the demos on parade. So basically, but they're just pushing a bunch of demos. So pre-release demos of their upcoming title on Xbox Game Pass, much like a game heading into early access. This would allow the studios to get important feedback on their games, as well as allowing the general audience to discover an upcoming release that they may not have been aware of. Overall, it would have been a promising project. However, in an interview with Game Business, Richard revealed that after 4 years in development, Project Moorcroft has officially been axed, describing it as a program where we were experimenting with some ideas of how we could support demos on Xbox. Richards went on to reveal that demos are still an area which Microsoft wants to focus on, but in a slightly different direction to what Microsoft was. It's unclear what this new direction entails, but at least reassuring to learn that Xbox still shine a light on upcoming studios and games in the future. So, I'm going to kind of get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. This just like Microsoft to kill something off. I mean, I much like these guys, like when Steam's Next Fest comes around, I hop on and grab a bunch of demos and try out a bunch of stuff that I typically wouldn't be interested in. I can't remember. We played what, Toxic Commandos not too long ago. I would have been interested in that too, but I got a nice little preview and I'm like, I like this. It's something I could continue to do. And things like that. So, I mean, it's a good way to check out a few different demos of what's coming up in the gaming industry on Steam. I mean, Steam always has demos, but they basically parade their demos out in front of everybody during Next Fest. And it would have been nice if Microsoft did something very similar on the Xbox. I mean, they do early access, which I can't remember what they call it. They don't call it early access on Xbox. They call it like preview. I think you just call it preview, right? Like that's what Ground and all that stuff did, was just game preview. But I don't know. I thought it would have been a good idea to have something very similar to that on the Xbox platform, where you could try new demos and just there's a page of nothing but demos. I think you can still sort by demos, can't you, on the store? I think you can. So, I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. Like, what were they trying to do with this? Were they just basically saying, hey, it's a place that you can, I don't know. To be honest, I'm trying to find, the article was a little doom and gloom about it, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out, so if you still get demos, what were they trying to do that they're not already doing, or that they don't have a way for developers to do to push out a demo onto the Xbox? Sounds like almost like somebody had to figure out where to waste money at. And they're like, let's throw money at developing a program for 4 years and then just have it as a write-off because we need a way to recoup some money, write this 4-year dead project off that we really had no intention of bringing to the front, bringing out. Nick, what do you think? What do you think about them canceling Moorcroft after 4 years of wasting money?
I didn't know it was a project to begin with, personally, but it would have been good if it was like Steam Fest. I mean, my wish list on Steam gets the most amount of wish list items usually during Next Fest, because that's when I go and discover a bunch of games that I didn't know were coming, or like you said, there's demos of a lot of them, so I get to try them out. And then if I really like them, I'm like, cool, and I throw it on my wish list, and also, I come across games or these guys come across games that we all kind of share between each other. So that way we can check out the demos of those games, and, they can, if they like them, they can wish list them. Like, well, I can't remember what that one was that, it was during Next Fest, but for some reason you had to like sign up for it, but it was easy to get. But anyway, I signed up for it, and I had some friend codes that I sent one to Shane, and he really liked it. And I'm sure he probably wishlisted it. It was like a Metroidvania, kind of like underwater looking one. So it's a good opportunity, and it's a good opportunity for I think Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, they should all really do that type of stuff, because that's a perfect way. Something like Next Fest, which I assume is what they were trying to do with this, I guess. I don't know how they, after 4 years, couldn't figure it out. But, that's a perfect way to get, I muted myself, to get a lot of these smaller titles, or just titles people don't know about, in front of them, right? Like you said, Pat, Steam during Next Fest, they just kind of parade these games out in front of everybody, right? And I love Next Fest. Like, it gives me a great opportunity to find a lot of cool titles that I didn't know were coming or didn't know existed, and get to try out a bunch of stuff and find a lot of favorites or games I really like, that I never knew existed in the first place. So, like, I wish more gaming companies did something like that, like Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo, because sometimes in order to find those like true gems or those really cool like indie games and stuff like that, you have to do a lot of like either come across an article about it, or you just happen to stumble across it. I think one of the nice things that Steam has as well, which as far as I know, Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo don't have, is the discovery queue. And the discovery queue on Steam is a really cool idea too. Like, I go through that sometimes when I'm looking for something, because it basically takes what you like and typically search for or find within Steam, and then you can click the button to start your discovery queue. And what it'll do is it'll take you through like 10 games that it recommends that you might like. And then if you don't find any games, you can start that over and it'll find 10 more, right? And it'll kind of keep redefining that queue, which is really cool, because sometimes you'll come across some really cool games that you're like, oh, I didn't know that existed, or I didn't know that was coming out soon, or whatever, in that discovery. So even the discovery queue, I have come across some games that I've wish listed or been like, I'm interested in, that I didn't know existed. So Steam has a lot of good ways to, or they try to do a lot of good things to try to add to that discovery of games that are not sitting on the storefront. And I feel like Xbox and even PlayStation and even Nintendo do a really bad job of not showcasing, other than the popular titles, they don't showcase like other things. And so something like this, the Moorcroft or Croft, or something similar like Next Fest, or even the discovery queue that Steam has, would be perfect for these other platforms, for people to discover these things. Like, that was the great thing about Game Pass, where it was discovering these games that you didn't know existed. Now, of course, you could play them on Game Pass, but now Game Pass is it's a little expensive nowadays, and I don't know if they still feature some indie titles and things like that, but the barrier for entry is a little expensive nowadays, so I don't know if it's worth it. But it's unfortunate. But I agree with you, Pat. It sounds like it was more of a write-off, right? Like, they spent 4 years and couldn't figure it out. Like, they didn't look at what other people are doing, and said, "Oh, let's just replicate that," right? Come on.
Yeah, because I think during Next Fest you sent me that Banquet for Fools game, and that was pretty good. I like that, and so I
tried that game out too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so,
I weird visual style, but
it is. But it's an interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, interesting fighting game or RPG.
I was going through there. I'm like, oh, I downloaded a bunch of demos. Let me try this one out. Let me try that one out. Yeah, and that's when I usually increase my wish list. My wish list is kind of massive right now. I need to go pruning, but
Yeah, my wish list is massive as well. But yeah, that's when a lot of stuff in my wish list gets added is during Next Fest and stuff. I get a lot of titles that I throw in there.
Yep.
What about you, Shane? What do you think?
Just another step in the grave for Microsoft, in my opinion. And the game you were talking about, Nick, was Being and Becoming.
No.
It was really good demo. Definitely check it out. It feels familiar and fresh, and it's just a really pretty game, very interesting.
Yeah, I like the underwater
yes
graphical look to it, because it almost looked like you were underwater, but there was like a dark and a light side to it. I don't know, it was really weird. It was an odd graphical style, but it was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked it. But far as them canceling this, I don't know. I mean, Microsoft, they're announcing a new console and all this, but I don't know why. They keep making mistakes like this, and they keep doing things that are, in my opinion, anti-gamer, anti-Xbox. It's like, hey, come join our platform. I'll shoot you in the pinky toe. I mean, that's literally every step they take is join us. I'm going to hurt you, but it'll feel good later. I promise. It's like an abusive relationship with Xbox, and this is just another thing. I love demos, and it's funny that this came up because the other day I was looking through the demos on the Xbox because there was a game I was trying to remember, and I could not think of it to save my life, so I was going through the demos. They haven't updated that thing for squat. There's like one or two new demos on that thing for like the last 6 months, I think it was. I mean, it was really bad. And then the same thing with their PC, Xbox PC stuff. It's no demos. Now you can find 1,000,000,001 demos on Steam. PlayStation, I don't know. I haven't turned that thing on in forever. And Nintendo not never, but very, very seldom puts any kind of a demo or early play test or anything like that. And Sony, same way. I think Helldivers did an early play test, I want to say, but I can't remember. So I think it's just another shot in Microsoft's Xbox toe. I mean, they just do the dumbest stuff. They want us to enjoy their platforms, or what's left of their platform, and they keep destroying it, but raising their prices to do so. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's sad. It really, and I remember we were on a trend of Microsoft's doing this, and everything was so freaking positive, and everybody's like, Phil Spencer, you're my hero, and then they were like, oh shit, look at them. They're happy. Can't have that. Let's do the wrong stuff now. And they've been on that trend ever since. So, and this is just another thing. I love demos because demos have gotten me into so many games over the years. I mean, everybody here probably ordered the magazine so they can get the monthly demos. They went to Walmart and bought a magazine because it had that one certain demo in there.
We bought Zone of Enders just to play Metal Gear Solid 2.
Exactly. And that turned out to be a great game. We've said that.
Yeah, Zone of Enders turned out to be a good game. So.
But, that's what demos do. Now, demos also have a bad side to it. It does say, okay, I don't want to play this. This is a piece of crap. This is nothing like I thought. XYZ, problem. So I can understand that part, and I don't know what it costs to make a demo, to chop a little piece out. I don't know if there's a financial aspect to that. I really don't. That's not up my repertoire, but it saddens me to see Microsoft just flushing them damn selves down that toilet. And they just announced the dev kits for the next XPC crossover, Helix, yeah. It's going to go out to the devs in 27, I think it said. So
if they can get memory and drives and shit.
Yeah. Hopefully, AI will stop eating everything at that point. I mean, that's all it's doing. So, but again, it's another thing I hate about Microsoft. I love demos because they give you an idea of what you're looking forward to, and some of them will trick you. Final Fantasy 16, played the demo, loved it. I love the demo. Played through it a few times. The game came out. I did not like the game. It wasn't horrible by any means. It's just it didn't feel good, didn't play good, and I didn't like it.
I mean, I was just thinking, like, Microsoft had it thought of back in the 360. I mean, they had this Summer of Arcade, which was that was like the best time to figure out new games that you didn't know, because they would showcase and have for sale like demos, and also for sale like a bunch of these odd titles or just like cool games that just came out of nowhere. And like, I loved the Summer of Arcade. Like, that was a highlight to look forward to during the 360 time, so they had it worked out during that time, Yeah.
Xbox best time was a 360. PlayStation's was the PS2 era. Nintendo, probably Super Nintendo. I mean, that's probably the best era. But demos are, I think, are very important to games, to gamers, I should say. I don't know about the devs, but I look forward to a demo, so I know whether or not my 50, 60, 70 bucks is going to be worthwhile. We're playing Toxic Commando. We played the demo. If the demo would have sucked, we wouldn't be playing we wouldn't have bought the full game. But we enjoyed the demo, so that's what they can do for you. They can bring people in, or they can push you away. So it's up to the developers on how they handle that. So,
yep, and so a demo can make or break your game. But if you have a good game, and demo's a good way to get more people to see it, right?
Word of mouth is a
free
trial. A good demo.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of free things out in this world, but a free trial for your game is a good thing. It's like getting samples at the grocery store, right? Is it good? Is it bad?
I mean, that's why they do it, right? Ooh. They do it because they want you to buy the product, and you're more apt to buy the product with a free sample. That's why they still do it to this day, right? If free samples didn't work, they wouldn't still be giving them out. Right. But the fact that they do work means that you go to Costco or you go to, Sam's Club, and they still give out free samples because it works.
Meat on a stick? Well, yes, please.
They're only $5.99. You're like, well, put that in my cart.
I'll take 2.
Yeah. Yep. So here is the end of their failed attempt at Xbox Next Fest, or whatever they were going to call it.
Yep.
Who knows? Right. But it will be soon. Xbox, I think, will use the current shortages as a reason why they can't produce another Xbox. Their AI chick will come out and be like, we really couldn't source the materials in any quantities. So, we're not coming out with another Xbox. Everything is just going to be on PC,
Or a dongle.
Yeah.
Or something.
Our streaming service, So, it is what it is. Xbox is digging their own grave these days. So, and then we got Sony pulling back from multi-platform and trying to pull everybody back into the PlayStation sphere, which I think is a horrible idea, but that's on them. They will, if because the same thing's going to happen to them that's happening to everybody else, to Steam and Xbox. Can't get memory, aren't going to be able to get storage. Man, what's next to be on the chopping block? Is CPUs next? I mean, AI is not very CPU intensive, so and the big dogs out there like Google have their own TensorFlows and things like that for large language model processing. So I don't know if CPUs will be hit. Probably not, unless Intel figures out some way to make the next best freaking thing for AI. And I don't know, AI. That's all we talk about anymore.
I mean, they're working on the next Intel chipset, so we'll see what they try to include with it in to raise the price up there with AI, you know.
Well, Intel's the one trying to
Yeah.
make the break into the GPU market, right? Is Intel? I always forget. Who's
They
that.
have they have those,
Yeah.
the ARC, is it
Yeah.
ARC or ARC, right?
Yeah, ARC. Yeah, ARM is the
AMD. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, you know, it is what it is at this point. But yeah, their new leader is gonna take Xbox gently into the night, or maybe not so gently into the night. Flush it.
No, it's going kicking and screaming, buddy.
It is.
She's gonna John Connor it.
It's gonna grow sentience.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess John Connor, he didn't. Well, I mean, he dies like later on, right?
Yeah.
So like Kyle Reese it maybe because he dies earlier.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was an overdose.
The Terminator did.
Nuts and bolts.
He did not come back.
No. Got malicious software and
oh no.
Terminator
get rid of that Trojan
malware.
Yep. Terminator got a tummy ache from all the malware. All right. So, you guys got any last words for this before we move on? All right. Let us know.
Kind.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought. You know, had you heard of the Moorcroft thing that Xbox was trying to do? What do you think about them shutting it down? You know, do you really think that we're going to keep seeing Xbox consoles, or do you think they're just going to kill them off? Do you think we're going to see more than the next gen? If you do think we're going to see another console from Xbox, you think there'll be another generation after Helix? Let us know what you think down in the comments. And you made it to the end of the video. If you're not subscribed, why not? Hit that subscribe button to help us out. Hit that bell to get notified when we put out new videos. And we hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.